My name is James Burton.
My name is Alex Williams.
My name is Jake Nicholson, and this is my Bulldog story.
For spring break, 8 of us in my law enforcement academy decided to drive down to Florida.
Sort of our last vacation before we were all going to be police officers. So we went down to Panama City Beach and just had a week to get away and have fun.
And on the way back, probably about 30 minutes outside Panama City on the highway, the car behind me radioed us and told us to turn around immediately, and the driver just whipped a U-turn. And I was in the back seat and initially had no clue what was going on. Like, I heard a big boom, but it wasn't very significant.
Rolled up on the accident scene and right away realized that it was a lot worse than I thought that it was going to be.
Ohio State University students returning from a spring break trip to Panama City, Florida, were involved in an accident Saturday morning, and 2 of the 4 students were killed.
At first, no one really knew what to do. More cars started coming and stopping.
So when we all got out, basically figured out who was hurt the most and what the extent of the injuries were.
It was just overwhelming. You didn't know who you could help or who you should help, who needed help. It was a lot to take in at first.
Being my first fatal accident scene, it took me a little bit to actually react to what was going on in front of me.
The 3 in the vehicle, it became pretty apparent that they were non-responsive.
We saw that one of the vehicles was split in half at the engine. One girl was ejected probably 40 or 50 feet away from the vehicle.
Me and 2 other recruits ran to the girl that was ejected 60 feet or so, and we started talking to her. She was the only one who was conscious and kind of getting up. There was a truck way farther, probably about 70 feet away.
The truck that was in the ditch farther had 5 passengers, and one of which was sprawled out across the back seat. The other 4 were able to get out of the vehicle.
But at that time, the girl that was ejected from the Neon started coming to.
She kept asking, where are my friends, where are my friends? And we couldn't really tell her anything because we didn't want to put her in more shock. Her injuries were so significant that if she wasn't kept awake all the time, that she could have died.
Once we were able to find one of the first aid kits, we were able to stop the bleeding on one of the girls' heads.
It took 13 minutes for the first state trooper to arrive, and at that point he was just sort of overwhelmed. He was just radioing for dispatch, trying to get more help there.
It was kind of tough because we could only do so much, but what we could do made a really big impact.
The academy directors gave us all a letter of commendation, which they told us is the highest award that they can give out in the academy.
We used all the stuff that we learned from first aid, stuff from patrol, stuff from criminal investigations, all our classes.
This is going to be something that we deal with every day, possibly in law enforcement.
You just always have to be on your feet. You always have to have the tools and stuff to assess these situations.
We weren't really looking for any kind of award because we felt like we just did what any other citizen should have even done, when you see an accident that bad, to turn around and see who needs help.